Good morning, distinguished guests and Mustang community. My name is Brooke McGee's from the class of 2021. We would like to welcome you to our 12th annual celebration in honor of African American History Month. At this time, we would like to welcome a message from our principal, Dr. Daryl Eccles.
Hey Mustangs, this is Principal Eccles just saying thank you for your participation in today's Black History event. I also want to say a special thank you to the people involved in making it happen today. Ms. Tanya Monet, Ms. Kim McElroy, and Ann Cluxton, as well as Jennifer Rowe. And we also want to thank Maggie Brown for her performance that she's about to do for you. I just want to remind everybody that Black History Month is special for us here at Mattia Valley High School. We are the most diverse high school in District 204, and we celebrate that diversity every day, not just 1 month a year. As Martin Luther King used to say, we may have all come here on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. And that means we need to work together successfully to make our school and our world a better place. Black History Month was established in 1976 by President Jimmy Carter at the request of Dr. Carter G. Woodson, who was an educator and an African American in our history. You can look him up, Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Okay. But I would like to thank everyone today for their participation. I hope you learned something today, and I hope that we all grow from this experience and continue to get better as Mustangs. Thank you.
Don't you get Mustangs?
Go Mustangs.
Go Mustangs. We'll start with Go Mustangs.
Thank you, Dr. Eccles. Now we would like to open the program with a piece, You Gotta Be, performed by Mattia Valley Jazz Combo, featuring Khadijah Leverett and led by Mr. Josh Kaminsky.
Come on, music department. Tissue. Please for me. Yes, girl.
Yeah.
What an amazing piece. Let's give another round of applause to the Mattia Valley Jazz Combo and Khadijah Leverett. Music is so connected to all aspects of our lives, and American history can truly be explored by looking at our music. The contributions of African Americans are an important part of this, our American story. Did you know that African American History Month was a tradition that started way back in 1926 by historian and scholar Carter G. Woodson? Back in the day, it was called Negro History Week. This tradition was later turned into a month-long celebration in 1976. Today, we continue on the tradition with our very own program, and we are so proud to have this day to make our mark by welcoming Maggie Brown and Africa Brown, two Brown sisters to Mattia. The Brown sisters' performance is a harmonious vocal blend, radiating sisterly love and their often comical chemistry. Always enjoyable and steeped in rich musical legacy, the two Brown sisters are thoughtful when fashioning a show. Africa and Maggie are the two youngest of 7 children by singer, songwriter, and playwright Oscar Brown Jr. Carrying on his prolific legacy means using their talents to edutain, offering insights into history, culture, and life. Their shows encompass a world music sensibility, blending genres from classical jazz, bebop, and ballads to spoken words and funky folk tales. And we are so excited that they are here to perform for us today. Now get ready to take part in a virtual celebration of African American History Month. Imagine All the People 2021 is the title and theme of this workshop presented by Maggie Brown and Africa Brown. Two Brown sisters, please take it away.
Let's get together and be.
Welcome.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Mattia,
Oh my goodness.
you guys feel like family to me.
I've heard such wonderful things about all of you. I mean, she goes on and on about how
I do.
beautiful
I
it
do.
was being
Because
a part. I
For
mean,
years, I've
and-
been able to come and share with you, and what you just presented, just to intro us.
Khadijah and the
We had
and
to
the-
get our
well,
tissues
we were like,
out.
oh, wait a minute.
We love it.
It was beautiful. You all are awesome.
Thank you
Bravo,
so much.
band.
Yes.
Bravo,
Well,
Khadijah.
and I wish
Good
we knew all
job.
the names.
Yes.
That sextet. Oh, at
it was
first, you
wonderful.
guys, you don't know this, but at first, maybe I was going to come out and sing with the band, which was going to be cool.
And she was like, it's so much better with
I love
them.
it with Deja and you all doing it, and it was wonderful. I love that
Mhm.
song. Anyway, it had the perfect message for
Everything.
Imagine All the People workshop.
And Brooke with it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just
Everybody.
she's-
Yeah.
oh.
Our MC, yes.
Yes, our MC. You
So,
are beautiful.
welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, we just had to sing
Thanks
your
for kicking
praises
us off.
first
Yeah.
off. We had to start off with that.
Yep. And
So-
Dr. Echols, Jennifer Rowe, it's because of you that we're here, and we're very grateful.
Very grateful.
And so we
happy.
developed something at the behest of Jennifer, saying, hey, we need some, not legacy that you had, shown us before, Maggie, but we need something new, and it's got to be virtual. And so we developed the Imagine All the People virtual workshop 2021. I'm Maggie Brown.
I'm Africa Brown, and we are so excited to be here with you. And we are two Brown sisters.
Yep, let's sing it.
Two Brown sisters. Two Brown sisters.
Yep, y'all, we are actually, sisters related by blood, and we take our sisterhood and our togetherness very seriously because we are family.
Yeah. And I got my sister with me.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
I love February, even though it's a short, cold little month.
It's so much snow outside right now. Oh my God.
I'm not leaving the house.
Oh.
I'm glad I don't have to.
I had to come out and I had to dig out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but February is full of so much stuff, like not the least of which it's my birthday.
Yay.
month.
Happy
Just
birthday to you.
My
Happy birthday to you.
But I'm older. Oh well. But it's also the month of
It's the month of Valentine's Day. Yay.
Yeah.
My funny Valentine. Yeah.
Send one your love with a dozen roses in this month. And it's also, as you know, African American History Month. So we celebrate Black History Month all month long. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have an objective, and it is to unify people with our art And we don't need to tell you how much diversity and division has just separated and harmed us all, because the news reminds us every day.
Today, we want to not only celebrate our African-American heritage, but also to recognize that which we all share. Every single one of us have something in common.
Yes, we do. And even though we don't know each other,
I never met you.
I don't know you, you don't know. Yeah, but you know, we all have something in common.
Still.
And it's very important. And it's that we are all human. Yes. And we all share
one world,
one earth,
and
one life.
Yeah,
Man,
we do.
and that's important.
That's
every day and every month of the
months.
year. So it's important to cherish our life and our planet that we all share together.
It's important to take care and leave the world better than the way we inherited it.
Oh, girl, let's say that again.
Say it together.
Leave the world better than the way we inherited it. Yes.
That's the most important thing. You see, awareness of and appreciation for other cultures in the world. Well, it helps to bring about the understanding that can lead to compassion and allow for solidarity.
That's right, which allows for love.
And that's the point.
We have a very rich legacy that we are very proud of. You know, so we are coming to you as ambassadors of the Oscar Brown Jr. Archive Project. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, well, what's an archive?
Honey, some of them are wondering, who is Oscar Brown Jr.? Even though the young lady tried to tell them.
Well, he's our dad, you know.
Well, I know, but we have to tell them some of the, the other stuff.
Okay. But first, let's tell them that an archive is a place where historic materials, documents, recordings, photographs are all preserved and kept for historical purposes, but not necessarily for sale.
No, and see, when we say that we are the ambassadors of the Oscar Brown Jr. Archive Project, well, that's because we are actually business partners. That's why we call ourselves Two Brown Sisters Company. And we are working toward preserving and proliferating the literary and musical works of Oscar Brown Jr.
That's right. Our father, he was a songwriter.
Yep, wrote hundreds of songs.
He was a singer, a playwright.
Wrote a dozen plays.
Actor.
Yeah.
Radio and TV host.
That's where he got his start.
He was an extraordinary and prolific poet.
Over 1,000 titles.
And mostly he was an activist.
Yes, the man was revolutionary. And, Oscar Brown Jr. was one of the first Chicago Black artists of international fame who used his art to help our people.
That's right.
Yeah,
he did. He did.
So like, had any of you ever heard of Oscar Brown Jr. before this?
And that's okay, because we are here as the ambassadors to let you know. And because we come from a musical family, we put a little something together.
Yeah.
To just, let everybody know who our dad was.
Tell you who he is. See, this is why we need Black history, because you don't even know. But here we go.
And here we go. My daddy always taught, if you want liberation, then you can't go along with the game. You gotta have wisdom when making your decisions. Don't trade your soul just for some fame.
He was a wordsmith of rhyme, and we can't even take the time to expose you to half of what he wrote. Let's just say, pick any subject of the day, and there's a song of our daddies I can quote.
Oscar Brown Jr. stood up for civil rights, and he didn't sell out for the fame. The man was a genius when it comes to making rhymes.
It's a shame if y'all don't know his name.
In the 60s, with dignity and flawless delivery.
Oscar Brown hit the music scene.
In the 60s, with dignity and flawless delivery, Oscar Brown Jr. hit the music scene. He was the grandpapa rapping on top of all that. He had the Blackstone Rangers on his team.
One thing that was different was the subjects of the songs, his expressions, painted stories you could see.
Yeah.
A strong voice for the Black man's situation in Chicago and this land we call free.
Oscar Brown Jr. stood up for civil rights, and he didn't sell out for the fame. The man was a genius when it comes to making rhyme, and we are here to make sure you know his name.
Yes, before you go, you surely will.
You surely will.
Because you need to. He was a wonderful Chicagoan that contributed greatly. We talk about Blackstone Rangers. He worked with the gangs. He had an exceptional career, and he turned his attention to work with the gangs and try to help the youth. And so when we were little girls, dad, Oscar Brown Jr., who we refer to as
OBJ,
right? He was the
way
original
before
one.
Odell
Mr.
Beckham
Beckham.
Jr.
I'm sorry, Mr. Beckham.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was a well-known star. Like many artists have recorded his material. Maybe you've heard of some like Mahalia Jackson or Max Roach, the famous jazz drummer. No, Diana Ross.
Those might
Tracy
be
Ellis Ross's mom.
Yeah, some might be a little before your time, but that's okay because I know you heard of Erica Badu, Nina Simone, Barbara Streisand, and that's just to name a few. Because back in the day, he was right up there with Sammy Davis Jr. and Harry Belafonte.
Like,
yeah, so we look to the advice and examples of our father. Oscar Brown Jr., he inspired us in many things that we do now today and how we make a living and using our artistic talents.
Exactly. See, now the most important thing to remember though, y'all, is that OBJ was H.I.P. He was hip.
He was very hip,
dude, man. Yeah. In the old days, see, you wanted to be like a hip cat, a hip dude. Like, you know, what do they say nowadays?
I don't know what
you're lit. You're
We're a little out of touch.
Cool. You wanted to be cool.
Right.
And he was. Dad took being a hip dude beyond.
And he made it a lifestyle.
Yes, he embodied the hipness. And it actually said that if you're really hip, then you are exercising your human improvement potential. And Oscar Brown Jr. defined hip human improvement potential as follows, and she quotes,
"Any ideas or activities that advance the interest of humanity have a hip human improvement potential quality." Now, being hip means being aware of whom and where you are. Being hip requires sufficient information to deal with circumstances. Being hip involves making positive moves in healthy directions. Being hip appreciates a close kinship with others of our kind. Health, wisdom, and compassion are essential components in any hip program.
Absolutely.
And now coming from a musical family, you know, we had to kind of, I had to put it in a little something. So I say
to help us memorize
exactly.
it. Yeah.
So let's see. Any ideas or activities that advance humanity? Human potential improvement means you have a hip quality. Being hip means you are aware of who and where you are. Come together, everybody, no matter near or far. Being hip requires wisdom so that all of us can advance. You need correct information and you can deal with circumstance. Being positive moves in healthy directions, closing the gap and making connections. HIP means you have a hip humanity. Appreciating close kinship with the others of our kind. You have to cultivate your wisdom and keep a healthy mind. Health, wisdom, and compassion is what we want to combine. Keeping compassion in your heart is essential in these times.
Essential. Yes. Ooh, I wrote a new song.
Yep.
Y'all actually inspired that.
Exactly.
This show right here.
That's right.
Good. So now I gotta learn it.
Well, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Because just imagine, girl, if we lived in a world,
where all the people are concerned about taking good care of all the people. Baby.
Man, and that's something that we love to do.
We do.
You know, imagining all the people truly living up to the ideas that were written and expressed in the Constitution by the founding fathers.
Yeah, Charlie Daddy wrote a bunch of poetry about that subject.
He did.
Y'all, we know there is much to do still in order to increase healing and caring for one another and the planet. A lot needs to be done still to build an equitable future for us all, a future society focused on equal treatment and fairness to all citizens of this beautiful, beautiful blue globe that they call Gaia.
Okay, so if none of you ever heard of Oscar Brown Jr., well, thanks to the ambassadors here, you can learn a great deal at the new website, OscarBrownJr.org.
OscarBrownJr.org.
Yeah,
we got that launched in
Mhm.
October. It was his birthday last year.
Yeah.
And
You
man,
did a great job.
Listen,
You
child,
did-
all the tech stuff.
You did a
it was
great job.
Really
Yeah,
tough.
I'm really
You guys
proud.
go see it.
Yeah.
Go to
www.OscarBrownJr.org.
when this is over. Learn
Exactly.
about us, learn about him.
It's
read
a
some more
lot about
poetry.
music.
Oh man.
Oh, we know
Yeah.
how important that is. So
Yeah.
now, who out there remembers what we said HIP stands for? Yes, Human Improvement Potential. Yeah, now that is one of our greatest influences and inspirations, is to use our artistic talents to be a creative force, a balance for a better world. So his life's work, it encouraged us to work on our own human improvement potential. And we're hoping that us being here and doing this show will help you work on yours.
Because see, you, our audience, are very important to us. You, our audience, oh, well, you're giving us your attention and we want to reward you, not only with good, hip poetry and music, but also with uplifting educational material. Because see, edutainment is our family claim to fame.
One more time.
Edutainment. Yes, how the brown people get down. That's right.
See, Dad was a storyteller and he passed that on to us.
Mhm.
And storytelling is actually an ancient African tradition of our ancestors.
That's right.
Our earliest ancestors are from Africa.
Black history begins in Africa.
Black history is world history. So now, since my name is Africa Brown, I figured, man, I should know all the countries inside of the continent of Africa. So, you know, had to put it together in a little rhyme because that's what we do.
How we do that.
So I said, Namibia, Angola, Gabon, and the Congo, Cameroon, Nigeria, Benin, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Togo, Senegal, Ivory Coast. Oh, when it comes to resources, Africa has the most.
Say what?
Yeah.
Oh man, that is so cool.
See, African history is Black history.
Yes, and Black history is world history. Now, there's another thing that even all us strangers, all you guys, and we still have in common.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Yep, we're all.
We all have ancestors.
Yes, everybody has ancestors. And to that end, I'm afraid I did have to write something myself.
Yes, you did.
She's a little sister on the big
Yeah,
sister.
yeah,
Here
yeah.
go my ancestor song.
Come on, ancestor song.
See, we are people who come from other people. People we can no longer see. We are people who come from, people who work for a better world for you and me.
Kick the rhyme.
Each one of us is born into a family. You are the fruit from the branches of your family tree. You are your parents' offspring. The same is true for me, but the family we're born into didn't start so recently. We are people who come from other people. People we can no longer see. We are people who come from, people who march for justice and equality.
Come on.
Inheritance is the gift of legacy.
Tell them,
You've been bequeathed by those long gone in your family tree. Our kinship is our bloodline from whom we are descending when we honor them. In our minds, ancestors keep us sending. We are
people who come from other people.
People we can no longer see. We are people who come from, people who work for a world of peace for you and me.
Come on, girl. What?
So all of this is all about our ancestry, the ones who have passed on inside our family.
Yes.
When we think of great-grands and
great-great-grands,
great-great-grands, we think of those for whom we feel affinity, because we are
people who come from other people.
Some of them resemble you and me.
You and me.
We are people who come from, people who work for a better world for you to see.
World for you.
We are people who come from, people who march for justice and liberty.
People who come
They
from
are
other people.
ancestors. You got them
People
too.
who come from other people. Great job,
Thank you,
girl.
baby.
Love that.
I love that.
Yes. Okay, so now we have world fact number one.
We have some
world facts.
Yeah.
Now, it is a known fact that life began on the continent of Africa. Yes, y'all. Scientists, they found the bones of the earliest human. It was a woman, and they named her Lucy.
It was found in South Africa?
In South Africa, actually, yes.
Can we hear a little more about the countries in Africa?
Yes, let's see. Libya, Egypt, Chad, Sudan, South Africa, oldest bones of man, Botswana, Zambia, Malawi, Mozambique. The beauty of Africa is so unique.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, a lot of things have been hidden, not told about our history, but African history is Black history. And Black history is American history
too.
Yeah, it's a shame that we have to, sort of like separate it off and have a special one, but we do still, because there's just so many things you don't know.
We have another little gem that was written by
Guru is a rap artist, a spoken artist, and he has a group called Gangstar.
Yeah.
And I discovered this in a Spike Lee movie called Mo Better Blues.
Ooh, Mo Better.
When I was working on the Legacy show. And the man just broke down the history of the music of my ancestors who came here and developed, as you'll see.
So we had to share.
Here goes.
Yeah, this is one that Maggie used in her show, Legacy Show. And I know you all know about that one. Yeah. It's in the sound of the African, or should I say the mother, bringing us back again from the drumming on the Congo. It came with a strong flow and continued to grow, and the feet moved to the beat of the tabalo. Now dig the story and follow.
For then it landed on American soil. Through the sweat, blood, and the toil, it praised the Lord, and it shouted on chain gangs, saying it felt, but it helped them to maintain. Scott Joplin rags,
That's Smith Blues, St. Louis Blues. It was all the news,
ringing smooth in all the listeners' ears, fulfilling the needs, planting the seeds
of a jazz thing.
Yeah.
Come on, say it. A jazz thing. Hey,
A jazz. Like your jazz band, they were improvising.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yes, I love it. That's part of something, a beautiful thing that our ancestors brought along with them. They came with their moans and their cries and the blues of being down south.
That's right.
But they brought their music, and it grew into something that enriches us all. Every soundtrack you hear has been influenced by this music.
It has. Now, our grandfather, his name was Oscar Brown Sr.
He was the dad of Oscar Brown
Jr. Now, he was among the millions of African Americans who left the southern states, moving up north to urban cities like here in Chicago during what was known as the Great Migration.
You see, during slavery times, our ancestors were scattered around in the diaspora.
That's right. World fact number 2.
Yeah,
okay. The term diaspora. Now that comes from an ancient Greek word, and it means to scatter about. And that is exactly what the peoples of a diaspora do. They scatter from their homeland to places across the globe, spreading their ways and cultures as they go.
Yeah. So in spite of the dispersion of our ancestors who were scattered around throughout the diaspora, away from their African territory, still, we know we are the offspring. We still are aware of our origin, of where we come from.
There are those who might question, well, why do they call ourselves Black or African American? And we are born in the world all around in the diaspora, but we still know that we are the offspring of the motherland of Africa, the children of Africa.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, because you were actually physically born in San Francisco, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right. Okay. So now, if somebody came and kidnapped you from your parents and took you over to St. Louis somewhere, your parents would still be your parents no matter where they took you, right?
Right, of course they would.
Right. So then take the nuts and beans analogy.
Nuts and beans?
Yeah. So like, say you were a pecan.
A pecan?
Okay, an almond, right? And so you're at the party and guys are spread out in the different bowls, and then you're a pecan. And then I
thought I was an almond.
Okay, yeah. You're an almond, but then someone puts you in the bowl of walnuts or cashew.
Ooh.
Does that make you a walnut or a cashew? No, you're an almond.
Yeah.
No matter what bowl they put you in.
Okay. And this is your analogy to show that the descendants of African people are still Africans, even though their ancestors were kidnapped and taken to another location.
Exactly. Yep. Different assortments, different bowls, but we're all nuts.
Clearly. Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying though is, because you can look at it in a beans type of way, because say I'm a kidney bean and I got placed in a pot of black eyed peas, that does not necessarily make pea.
A black-eyed pea, because you don't turn into a kidney bean just because a black-eyed pea gets put into a pot of kidney beans. That's right. See, we are getting down to the beanness of humanity, the beings. We're all, even if we was
not human beings,
well,
human beings.
beings.
And being human should mean being hip.
Yeah, like
H-I-P.
Yeah, like our grandfather and those
Yeah.
ancestors who came up from the South. They came up here to actively confront racism, injustice, and economics and politics and everything. Yeah.
Freedom fighters. Yes, they
yes.
did. They came up from the South to the North in the Great Migration because of their courage and determination. We are here.
Yes, and we are grateful too. And if you don't mind, instead of singing this next song that I did compose about the Great Migration,
we're gonna watch it. She made a music video.
My first music video.
It's really good.
It's called Great Migration. I will tell you in this video what makes it a great migration. Please take it away.
Take it away, y'all.
I wish you'd listen. I wish you'd listen. Walk, walk, ooh, walk. I'll tell you what makes y'all say. Walk, walk, ooh, what makes it a great migration. Is that folk back then would travel great distances to secure a future of positive instances. And though the journey was filled with danger, keeping faith in what's unseen to my people is no stranger. Did I mention all the miles that they covered in search of their hopes and dreams to discover, seeking a life free of grueling labor and an opportunity to taste the city flavor? The way that it moved people out from the sharecropper life of the South. The fact that without Jim Crow, hope and progress had a chance to grow. So I'll tell you what makes it, y'all say. What makes it a great migration? I'll tell you what makes it, ask me. What makes it a great migration? It's that people made a new start in their life so that their children wouldn't have the same strife. It gave a chance for a better education to move black people forward for the new generation. The music moved up as people moved out into new frontiers and venues, no doubt. And jazz got a college education, and jazz spread beyond the nation. Jazz spread through cities and across the seas. Without segregation, racism could freeze. The music led to more communication, helping improve human relations. The fact that it came with a price so many un-Americans alike. The fact that it helped them to see jazz improvisation made the people feel free. I'll tell you what makes it, y'all say. What makes it a great migration? I'll tell you what makes it a great migration. New landscapes gave way to seizing opportunity when folk first arrived to build a new community. My people faced struggles and injustice. In spite of odds, we came up winning, you can trust this. And y'all see proof in the metropolis that flourished, making way for the movement which was nourished. Building on unity, forging revolution, standing up for our future. They were marching towards solution. Came with a price. I wish you'd listen. What makes it a great migration? Building on a legacy. What makes it a great migration? History of you and me. What makes it a great migration? Only way we can be free. What makes it a great migration? Building on a unity. I wish you listen. It's the real you and me. Carry on the legacy. Only way we can be free. Building on that unity.
Building on the unity.
Yay, Meg.
Ooh, thank you.
I love that video.
Thank you so much for showing that and making it a part of this presentation.
Yeah, she did such
Oh
a
my
good
goodness.
job.
Hey,
Oh, I love it, girl.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Hope
Now-
you all enjoyed it.
Yes. Now, Let's hear a little more Africa chant.
Okay,
more
okay,
Africa
okay.
chant.
Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, so torn, Ethiopia, Somalia, that's what we call the Horn, Cape Verde. Get ready and shake Djibouti, Republic of Congo, and Burundi.
Wait, did you say shake Djibouti?
That is actually the name of a country in the continent. It is,
yes,
right?
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. That's a good way to learn the countries, because there's a lot of them.
Girl, I had to do something. Like I said, I have to know all of them if that's my name.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So now we want to try to break it.
Okay. All right, let's see. Namibia, Angola, Gabon, and the Congo, Cameroon, Nigeria, Benin, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Togo, Senegal, Ivory Coast. When it comes to resources, Africa has the most. Libya, Egypt, Chad, Sudan, South Africa, oldest bones of man, Botswana, Zambia, Malawi, Mozambique. The beauty of Africa is so unique. Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, so torn, Ethiopia, Somalia, that's what we call the Horn, Cape Verde. Get ready and shake Djibouti, Republic of Congo, and Burundi, Equatorial Guinea, and Swaziland, the West Sahara, the South Sudan, Tanzania, Lesotho, Sierra Leone, Madagascar, Zimbabwe. Let's get it on.
Oh,
it's so many. And that wasn't even all of them. That wasn't even all of them.
That is very,
that was like
cool.
46
cool,
of them.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh my goodness.
I know, right?
Okay, now, there's so many countries in Africa. That was really amazing. So,
well, because there's so many different countries inside of the continent, it's like it makes me wonder who was responsible for making all the borders and territory lines. And when you look at the map, but the study of world history, that reveals when and how the world was divided up.
That's right. Yeah, now it's time. Good time. Time for some students.
We're going to have some students.
The theme of our show is Imagine All the People. And we want, for someone has been assigned to hopefully read the poetry of Mr. John Lennon.
One of my faves.
A little excerpt from his song called Imagine.
Yeah.
Because he wrote this back in the 60s when there's a lot going on in our country like we're dealing with now, where we have to deal with how things have been and how they need to improve and how we're going to go forward to make it better for more like everyone.
So come on, student. We want to hear what you have to say.
Poetry.
In emotion.
Now, if it's that we don't have anyone assigned to read the poem,
it's fine.
Yeah, just give us
let us know.
It says, imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world.
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world could live as one. Now, we would have loved to have heard a student do it, but that's all right. We still got the message out there, and that's what's really important.
That's really important because it's just reason there's a need still for Black History Month to be celebrated, Black history being world history, is because they're just facts that aren't talked about normally. When our ancestors were brought here as slaves, we weren't even thought of as people in the Constitution. So our history was not made a part of the whole story of what makes America, even though we are a great part, inseparable to what makes America. And our people all over the world are inseparable part of what makes the world go round. Do you know that in Africa, 30% of the world's mineral reserves are there, and that there are 12% of the world's natural gas is there. They have the high amount of oil reserves, 40% of the world's gold, and 90% of the world's chromium and platinum.
Wow, world fact number 3 in your face.
Right, you know what platinum, all the stuff, the technology that platinum requires. It's deep. African history is Black history, and Black history is world history.
Now,
even if it gets left out.
When I was a little girl, often on TV, they would show commercials of starving African children and in huts and mud in the
flies all in their faces.
Poorest of poor conditions.
Right.
But the continent of Africa is really very, very rich. And you can can learn that for yourself. With a little further study, you have to learn it for yourself.
That's right. And that's what it takes, y'all. You have to find out and get an understanding for your own self.
You see, it really takes some insight. And insight is a deep understanding of a person or thing.
Insight, like seeing your inner, right? Seeing inside the heart of things. And don't confuse it with the word that sounds very similar called insight.
Oh, God.
But see, insight is totally different. Insight means to stir up or like agitate and encourage violent or unlawful behavior.
That is not what we mean. No, because without insight, that brings understanding. Well, the world is plagued with too many people of feelings of like righteous intolerance.
That's absolutely what we are seeing so much of. And they feel like they are justified to incite their actions of violence.
So we need insight from your heart.
That's right. Thank God. Yeah. Our brother wrote something about that before he got out of here. And his name is Oscar Brown
the third, because we have a lot of Oscars in our family, clearly.
Yeah.
So this is Oscar 3, and he wrote a song called Insight. And this is how it goes.
And when we sing it after a little while, I hope you guys might have gotten a sheet earlier and some folks might have discussed the ideas that are revealed in the lyrics of this song.
And we have a couple of students come forward this time to say something. So
we'll cue you, but we're going to start you off first with Oscar Brown the third. Our brother, we call him Bobo.
Bobo.
Yeah, that was his nickname. Bobo wrote this song. Bo Brown. 2, 3.
I try to be myself and wonder why they fear me. I raise my voice for expression. Now everybody hear me. Hear me. I sympathize with the one doing wrong. For so long they've been misunderstood. And just like a child that cries out every day, and it doesn't seem to do any good, it's gonna take insight. Feel the world around you, insight to another point of view, insight. Get an understanding, walking in your brother's shoes.
Sing it, girl. No one was saying, but we're all in the game. Everybody's got a right to choose to understand another woman or man. Gotta search in your heart for the clues. Nowadays, folks fall in love, but they don't stay together. Stay together, no. Folks criticize what is wrong, should think of something better. Don't you know it'll be much better? Feelings so cold between young and the old, and everybody feels all alone. But who'll save the world for the boys and the girls when we can't reach understanding at home? It's gonna take insight. Feel the world around you. Inside to another point of view. Inside. Get an understanding. Walking in. It's just for you, this whole show, Matea. All for you, all inspired by you. Jennifer Rowe, Dr. Eccles, the jazz band, the choir. Inside. I know y'all got some insight. Every time I come, you do the most. And you make me feel so good. I'm gonna try not to get roped up. Will you please take it over and tell us what you talked about?
Come on. Ozzy done had his hand up for a minute. What you got? What you got? Anybody? Talking about
what does it mean
to walk in your brother's shoes?
Walk in your sister's shoes. What does it mean?
Yeah.
To have insight and that inner feeling. How can that lead to the harmony?
How does having insight help people and live in harmony? Mm-hmm. So what do you think it means Feel the world around you.
Let's see, anything happening? 5 in the chat. I
Love their chemistry. That's so sweet.
Darling.
Thank you, guys.
And it's okay. I know sometimes technically we're not always, ready for everything we're trying.
Yeah,
but
that's
even
all right.
when you get back to your classroom, hey, we might be celebrating it this month, but these issues have to do with every single day.
That's right.
It's like compassion. Daddy said compassion offers creative ways to show love.
That's
right. It's like when you have compassion, that's when you will find those ways. In a moment, you might, when something happens, there's something you could do that's, positive versus something that you could withdraw, withhold doing.
Or do nothing,
right,
or say something negative, say something positive, uplift each other. Get an understanding.
You guys talk about the songs that, the words especially that I put in that vocabulary, they relate to this show and they'll make us think about, what it is we're talking about here.
That's right.
We can finish this song right now. Lost the light and everything. Inside, feel the world around you.
Inside, to
another point of view. Inside, it's gonna take insight, understanding. Get an understanding. Walking in your brother's shoes.
Yeah, you guys. We hope that you all are gaining some insight from what it is we're putting together today, and we really appreciate.
Ever.
Being here. And good, we got a yes from Casey. That's beautiful. So glad. So now look, what it is though is that
my computer went down.
Girl, you weren't supposed to tell.
That's right. No, that's what's going on. And so it doesn't matter.
No,
Insight.
We're good. And see, we are
the idea that we can live in a world where folks really care about each other and they don't decide that because you look a certain way or you're a certain race, we're going to treat you a certain way and you're not going to get certain benefits that the rest of us get. When that happens,
it's too bad when folks can't approach daily life.
It'd be nice if we could approach daily life as if we do when it was the Super Bowl or some championship event with the basketball or something, because then everybody's like, oh, gung-ho, we're all focused and we all want to be all, one and all lovey and togethery and stuff.
Togethery?
Yeah,
Girl, really? Right. Maggie, we are at a school. You cannot make up words like togethery.
When I say togethery, what I'm talking about.
Okay, so I have a question though. Does anyone enjoy sports?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I love me some basketball.
So
imagine
if you had been no Michael Jordan or no Jackie Robinson or any Paul Robeson or something like that, right?
No Muhammad Ali.
Girl.
No Kobe.
Oh, we miss Kobe. Yes.
Yeah, these guys, these people, they changed the game.
They did.
And the things that they did, it encouraged our love of the game. And see, we all come together. We seem to get real united around the champion teams or the towns that we live in times like that. And
that's right.
Wish we could be like that.
Because in those championship moments, we feel like we belong to a common thing.
That's right.
Everybody's one.
That's right. Then there's those athletes who man, we feel they're heroes because they took their celebrity, the attention that they got, and they turned it towards, pointing out what's wrong and what needs to improve and get better in our world. That makes them heroes,
right?
Man.
And some of them did it without fanfare or applause.
No, people still don't know who they are.
Baseball all-star Curt Flood, whose name too few sports fans even know.
Y'all even know about
Most don't even know of the important contributions that this man made to the freedoms and liberties enjoyed by people in the sports world today.
Yeah, see, Mr. Curt Flood, back in the 1970s, he actually went to the Supreme Court and he fought to establish free agentry in professional major league sports.
So Mr. Flood, he actually married my Aunt Judy, you all, which made him the brother-in-law to our dad, Oscar Brown Jr. And Dad wrote a poem about
it
Flood. Yes, and it's called Brother-in-Law.
that's what he was.
Because that's what he was to him. So with the courage to stand under his own command and do battle for what he felt right, all alone in the land, taking matters in hand, Kurt Flood started a principled fight to abolishing laws like baseball's reserve clause, which kept major league players enslaved. He made freedom his cause. Without fanfare or pause, Kurt Flood knew the danger he braved. So he seemed not to fear for his brilliant career as a major league champion all-star. His cause he would pursue, though if he lost, he knew Kurt Flood from baseball would be barred. Yet as long as they pay the best athletes to play, and as long as their agency is free, a grand tribute is paid to the great difference made by the free man Kurt Flood fought to be. From now on, all our young should hear his praises sung upon entering life's lonesome parade, and upon entering the bank,
Cha-ching.
all free agents should thank Kurt Flood for the foundation he laid.
Man.
Now that was something that Dad put
That was
together
an
called
excerpt.
Brother-in-Law.
That was an excerpt of the poem that you can find on Dad's website if you wanted to see the whole thing, right?
Mhm.
So like Kurt Flood was definitely a hero of Dad's, as was Paul Robeson, another all-star athlete who was also an internationally acclaimed vocalist.
That's right.
Right.
That's
with a beautiful voice.
Beautiful.
And they silenced his voice.
They did.
They did, because they didn't want him speaking up against the atrocities and prejudices being practiced on African people from around the world, kind of like Kevin. So anyway, he he couldn't work. The United States crippled his career. They made him go into exile by making it so he couldn't work here.
Yeah. See, because Black history is American history. And did you know that Dr. Granfield T. Woods was one of America's greatest electrical engineers, y'all?
He was a Black man?
Yes. And did you know that he wasn't even allowed to finish elementary school?
See how they do.
But he patented over 100 electrical and mechanical inventions.
What?
And Dr. J.T. Woods had many patents purchased by General Electric, Westinghouse, Bell, and
company.
Thomas Edison himself. And did you know that he successfully sued Thomas Edison in court for stealing a couple of his patents on 2 occasions?
Not once, but twice. Yeah. So you're telling me he helped to contribute to things like the railway telephone, subway system, roller coasters.
Girl.
Yeah.
That's something else that makes people come together.
What?
Being
roller
on a roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
Their hands fly up in the air. It's screaming and howling. And everybody is like in the same crazy, hysterical family. Oh my God, it's so funny. It doesn't matter what your walk of life is.
Yep, and life's ups and downs are like that roller coaster. I can tell you, especially here lately. Oh my God.
And you're right. You're right. Life is like one big roller coaster. So, I say, let it be a roller coaster of love.
Yeah.
Let's all ride together nicely and safely, Yeah. So it's just, if we could all just keep that spirit.
The spirit.
If we could keep that
spirit that we talked about, like when we're into our sports thing, we're all gung-ho.
Right. Could you imagine if we winning, painted our faces and
winning
wore
is the thing.
T-shirts and all came together?
I think that's how we could all win.
Oh my God, about life,
like that.
About being together in life.
That would be the thing. So now here's one last hero that we want to. So we're gonna sing along with our musical hero, Mr. Stevie Wonder. We have sent out some information, and we recommend that you go and listen to and look further into the information that we share that relates to our show. Yes, but Stevie Wonder made this song. This is a great way to help wrap this up. It's talking about all the contributions that all of us have made to making this world that is for us all.
That's right.
This is called Black Man.
Stevie Wonder.
By the genius, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Here we go.
First man who died
For the man we now hold high was a black man. The ground where we stand, with a flag held in our hands, was the red man. Guide of a ship on the first Columbus trip was a brown man.
Pedro Alonso Nino was his name.
The railroads and trains came on tracking that was laid by the yellow man. We pledge allegiance all our lives for the magic colors red, blue, and white. But we all must be given the liberty that we defend. For with justice not for all men, history will repeat again. It's time we learn. This world was made for all men. Check. Heart surgery was first done successfully by a black man, Dr. Daniel Hill Williams. A friendly man who died to help the pilgrims to survive was a red man.
Squanto was his name.
Farm workers' rights lifted too high by a brown man,
Cesar Chavez.
Yes. Incandescent light was invented to give sight by the white man.
You know who that was?
That's why we need Black history. You know
With
that.
the allegiance all our lives to the magic colors red, blue, and white. But we all must be given the liberty that we defend. But with justice not for all men, history will repeat again. It's time we learn. This world was made for all men. Come on.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Hear me out.
Hear him out.
Say it, girl. I know the birthday of our nation is a time when we come to celebrate. But as your hand touches your heart, remember we don't play a part in America to help that banner wave. Yeah.
We love Stevie Wonder and his message.
Oh my God.
And the last thing we want to leave you with is what our show is centered around, and it's the song by John Lennon.
If you know it, please join in and sing along.
That's right.
We so appreciate
We
you.
really love you all.
Much love.
Thank you so much.
Gotta imagine all the people, y'all. Thoughts or themes.
Yeah, we know we
Thinking
went
about
over time.
today.
We sorry, but this last thing. Here we
Yes.
go. Imagine there is no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us.
Above us.
Only sky. Imagine all the people living for today.
You know, we took some extra time.
Yeah.
If you're short on it, we understand.
We'll wrap it up, but we just wanted to share the song that we really felt that was about what it is we're talking about. Totally worth it. Thank you guys. We love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we missed? I didn't get to tell them I got a fantasy, and it includes you and me. I fantasize we get together, make the world free. Free from things that separate, free to love, free of hate. Free from the need to be filled with hostility. My fantasy has us keeping happy company, focusing on what we like, on what we have in common, untangling some strings like we're hooking up some ramen. Then we're gonna serve it up to one another. Everybody doing what's best for each other. I know I sound crazy, like everyone could love their brother. I said I had a fantasy. You could say I'm scheming, but they say all things start with a thought. So I'm gonna keep on dreaming.
Thank you. We really appreciate you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
This concludes our African American History Month program. Thank you all for joining us for this amazing program. Thank you to our superintendent, Dr. Adrian Talley, Dr. Daryl Eccles, Matthias Jazz Combo, Khadijah Leverett, Mr. Josh Kaminsky, and our special guests, Maggie Brown and Africa Brown, two Brown sisters. Have a wonderful day, and as always, go Mustangs.